Okay, now possibly one of the more famous football clubs in Ireland, we're looking at now in the history series is UCD, otherwise known as University College Dublin Association Football Club. Now, their nickname is the Students, obviously because the name University College Dublin. They play at the UCD Bowl in Dublin. Has a capacity of 3,000. The club itself was founded in 1895 as the Catholic University Medical School Football Club. They took their current name in 1908 when the university expanded to have multiple degrees. The UCD were elected to the League of Ireland in 1979, but before they were elected to the League of Ireland, from 1976 onwards, they took part in many international tours overseas. They were the first ever Western team to play in China in 1976. Following that, they also toured India, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Malaysia, Jordan, the Philippines, Macau, USA, Sudan, Kenya, and Australia. Now, some of those locations, you probably couldn't do a tour like that today, where you would play in China first and then go to places like Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan for political reasons. Yes, there's a lot going on in Hong Kong. There's a lot going on with Team Taiwan or Chinese Taipei and Communist China, and of course Macau, which was a former Portuguese colony, which is also a special administrative region of China, similar to Hong Kong with similar status, although there's a lot of political stuff going on. But some of the other countries like Malaysia, Jordan, the Philippines, the USA, Sudan, Kenya, Australia, they were pretty active in the 70s. Now, a momentous thing happened in 1983. Before 1983, you had to be a student to play for the club or a member of the faculty staff. From 1983, players from outside the university were allowed to play for the club. However, most players still are ex-students or current students. But that was a momentous decision they took in 1983, and it paid off. They won silverware shortly afterwards, and they entered Europe for the first time. The 84-85 season, for example, they played in the Cup Winners' Cup against Everton in the first round. Now, in the first leg, they drew 0-0 at Tolka Park in front of 9,000 fans. They narrowly lost 1-0 to Everton at Goodison. However, they narrowly missed out on away goals. They hit the bar. Had they scored, they would have progressed. Now, Everton went on to win the Cup Winners' Cup that year and were voted the best team of the year by managers across Europe. So they pushed a great Everton side of the 80s all the way in the Cup Winners' Cup back in the day. Their most famous fan of all time is Dermot Morgan, who created Father Ted. Sadly passed away many years ago. Very funny. If you've watched Father Ted on British TV, you'll find it is a hilarious sitcom. Only ran for 12 episodes. People think more episodes were created of Father Ted. Absolutely hilarious. One of the most iconic sitcoms of British and Irish TV of all time. Father Ted, brilliant programme. Dermot Morgan was a very famous fan. He would regularly attend home games at the old Tolka Park before his sad and untimely passing. He said he didn't really like large crowds of people, and the general crowd was around 1,000 to 2,000. So he very unique atmosphere, very cult fandom as well. It's one of those cult clubs. Now, they actually, yes, as I say, have won some silverware. That momentous decision in 1983 to allow players from outside the university to play, as I say, paid off because they won the FAI Cup in the 83-84 season. They also won the FAI Supercup in the 2000-2001 season. So they have won some major honours, but generally they have struggled in comparison to the other big clubs of Dublin and of Ireland, because the majority of their players are still semi-pro or amateur because of that student link to University College Dublin. But I do find it very interesting. They've had some great European nights, obviously very famously against Everton in the Cup Winners' Cup. I've been bugged to do a video on UCD for a long time since I started doing the Football Club History series, especially with the Irish clubs. Many subscribers and viewers have basically bugged me to do a video on UCD, so we've done that. They obviously currently play at the UCD Bowl, which is a multi-purpose facility for all the sports that the University College Dublin participates in. A lot smaller capacity than a lot of the other stadiums in Dublin. And when we get onto the bigger clubs in Dublin, like Shamrock Rovers, for example, their stadiums are far bigger. And some of the other clubs in regional Ireland have bigger stadiums. So they are a very unique club, with still having that student and university link. Very similar to the Metropolitan Police in London have a semi-pro side with a lot of non-police officers playing in their ranks. Formerly, again, the Metropolitan Police Football Club was only open to serving and ex-police officers with the Metropolitan Police. So it's a very similar dynamic where they are linked to the organisation, the educational organisation. There are a few other clubs around Europe that have university or student origins. There's a few floating around, but they are very, very unique. That the majority of the players are still ex-students and current students, although since 1983, so over the last 41 years, they have allowed players who've got no links to University College Dublin to sign and play for the club. So there we go. Place your thoughts on UCD A.F.C below. I would love to hear from any UCD fans, as I have been bugged to do a video on this football club. But from me for now, thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts in the comments section below, and I'll have some more content for you guys very, very soon.